Good day, folks. This is TradeTaxPlus checking in for TradeTaxPlus Center of Excellence. This is our first technical discussion video for June 2019. The topic is a simple one. How do you apply the 120,000 Rand rule with regards to registration as a VAT vendor for as a supplier of commercial accommodation? Now, just as a general principle, the 120,000 Rand rule is a proviso to the definition of enterprise, and it says if the activities you conduct in supplying commercial accommodation, if the value of the supplies do not exceed or does not exceed 120,000 Rand per annum, then that activity is regarded as not an activity conducted as a VAT enterprise. So it's just completely ignored for VAT. That's essentially what it means. The first question then is that per incidence? In other words, does it apply to each activity that you conduct? So if I rent out 5 houses and I use them as guest houses, is this applicable to each guest house, or is it applicable to all guest houses combined? Now there's a dual school of thought on this. On the one side, the section refers to activity or enterprise carried on, and the question is each one of those activities a separate activity or a separate enterprise for VAT purposes, or can you lump them together because they're very similar? Now, there's a strong school of thought that you can't lump them together. If you look at the way that the VAT Act is written, each one of those is a separate activity or separate enterprise, and that you have to look at it separately to bring it into the VAT enterprise. That's the first issue. The second issue then is, but how do you apply the 120,000 Rand rule? Now, it simply says if you have exceeded the 120,000 Rand, or you are likely to exceed that in the next 12-month period, then it becomes part of the VAT enterprise. So a dual test. The first test is, have I exceeded 120,000? If I haven't, then that's not the end of it. Then you can say, well, what is the likelihood that I will exceed this in the next 12-month period? And if the likelihood is good, and you can demonstrate that it is, then you will be able to register that activity as part of your VAT enterprise that you're carrying on. Just the last issue. It's only taxable supplies that come into these equations. You have a mixed enterprise that supplies commercial accommodation but also supplies what's generally referred to as exempt residential accommodation. But in a single entity, then it's only the commercial accommodation that must be brought into account in determining the 120,000. So I hope that clears some of the uncertainty regarding the application of the 120,000. Give us your feedback, see if it makes sense. If it's rubbish, then also tell us that, and we will gladly get your views on that. But for now, it's me, TradeTaxPlus, checking out for TradeTaxPlus Center of Excellence.